Welcome into the State of Sports podcast. We got a special episode today. We have a high school alum of Morgan and I, Brad Carpenter, on, who is one of the owners, I believe, of Cover 10. It's essentially cornhole, but with beer pong rules. Brad, welcome in, man. How are you doing?
Well, I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Obviously, you know Morgan. And then, we just introduced you to Nick. Yeah. Been a few years. Just introduced you to Nick. So give us a quick little overview of Cover 10.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you briefly kind of touched on, Cover 10 is essentially cornhole and beer pong combined into one game. So we initially just took the rules of beer pong, 10 cups, 10 holes essentially, threw it on a cornhole board, and then just kind of combined the two kind of beloved, summertime games. One heavily involved with drinking and beer.
I mean, both are really. Like, if you're not, we play with, you got to have a beer in your hand if you're playing cornhole.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's just kind of like the standard backyard game,
It's etiquette.
One hand has to have some sort of cold drink in it for sure.
Exactly. So, I mean, how'd you come up with the idea? Were you just like sitting there shooting the shit with your boys one day, or?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I was kind of thinking back on like how the idea actually, started. Me and my business partner, Gabe Purvis, who couldn't be here, unfortunately, we're always brainstorming. I mean, we're always just trying to come up with some sort of, business idea, product, anything. And it was actually last summer, towards the end of the summer, we had a cornhole set, very cheap set. And we were also playing beer pong. We had a bunch of friends over, and, as the night progressed and, a couple more drinks got in us, we just, continued to kind of think like, hey, what could we possibly bring to the table as far as a new game that people would like, of all ages, essentially. And, after a couple days later, just doing some continuous research and chatting back and forth, we decided to kind of pursue this prototype, and it's a blast to play, super addicting. Plus it's a new game. So, it's exciting in and of itself, for sure.
For sure.
Absolutely.
When did you guys decide to go into like the market and want to sell it to like retailers and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think that, main decision was made honestly earlier this spring. So we kind of sat on it over the winter. With winter, people are outside less and less, and snowboarding and snowmobiling and all that good stuff. So the lawn game was kind of, not front of mind. But as the weather was somewhat warming up, or at least it was foreseeable future, we decided, hey, let's really pursue this. Let's go all in. And then we started talking with another Wyndham High School alumni, Christian Zwerner, about a Kickstarter video. He's going to med school, but he does videography on the side, which is absurd.
That's crazy. Good for him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's insanely talented. Was able to help us out, which was huge. And that's kind of the building block that kind of set this whole thing off.
So did you guys build a prototype out originally, and then like kind of based it off of that?
Yeah, basically. I can speak for myself. I'm not the best handyman, to be completely honest. Nor am I a good artist, but we tried to put our thoughts and our ideas down on paper, and bring them to a couple of friends as well as local woodworkers, just to see if it was an option. Mm-hmm. From there, we kind of got our base idea of what we were looking at, and then from there we were just kind of pursuing other suppliers that could potentially make this mass production wise, just orders in the future.
Yeah. So how was that process like finding so obviously you guys have your Kickstarter website. I know you guys already have 25 pledged. I know between the three of us, I'm sure we're going to get one because we love beer pong and cornhole. Awesome. But so what's it like trying to get like the production behind that and try to find a partner for that? Like, what's that process like?
Yeah. It's pretty difficult. I mean, I think we've all heard like it's all about who you know and your connections.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair, really, no matter what you're doing, life. And yeah, so we started local. We went to a couple of woodworking facilities, one right in Lewiston, which is where I was born, the Dirty Lou. So I was like, cool, start at home base essentially. But as everyone's also probably well aware of, the cost of lumber has just absolutely skyrocketed.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Here.
Good luck trying to build a house right now.
Dude,
Yeah. I know.
I tried to build a fence in my yard, and I could have just bought another house.
I know. Yeah, no kidding. I know. It's like, all right, well, the back porch is just going to have to collapse until the market corrects. But yeah, so that was a challenge for sure. Is like figuring out, hey, the cost, for the wholesale cost itself.
Yep.
A lot of those prices, unfortunately, were like, we're not going to make any money off of that. We want to pursue a local, hopefully Maine-made product, if not a U.S. But we eventually went to Alibaba, which hooks you up with external suppliers, really all across the world, including the U.S. And we were able to find a supplier through them, which is awesome. Recommend, just browsing Alibaba, and you can definitely make a business out of a lot of different things. And our supplier's been great. They've been able to kind of customize the game how we want it to be made.
Right.
It's been awesome. We were able to kind of customize the boards, obviously the layout, the covers themselves, which go over the hole after you throw the cornhole bag into the hole, which is kind of simulating the cup.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a challenging experience for sure, but the goal is obviously keep pursuing it no matter what.
Right. It's a phenomenal idea. Like it really is. Like
Yeah,
I saw it and
sounds
I was like, shit, that's pretty sick.
That's like a good tailgating game.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
hell yeah. Yeah, it definitely is. And it's at this point, it's like, hey, we just gotta get as much exposure as possible. Get it in as many backyards as possible. Because once people play, it's pretty fun. And the cool thing about it is the top hole can be left open for traditional cornhole play.
Nice.
That was the initial plan, because hey, why not 2 for 1 there?
Well, it's a 2 for 1,
Yeah, exactly. But once you play cover 10, I mean, not to kind of toot our own horn, but
Toot
it, man. Yeah, that's why you're here.
I know you kind of forget about the traditional cornhole, and you're like we have a different game in front of us. Let's just play that. So that's been pretty cool, because that's kind of initially how we started with the whole marketing process, was just throwing it out during backyard, parties, and not telling any of our friends that we made it, and just kind of see
how they react to it.
That's super smart. Yeah,
exactly. So we just set up, can jam, traditional cornhole, and then our game cover 10, and just kind of, sat back just kind of watched to see what happened. And everyone just gravitated to cover 10. They're like, what the heck is this? Like, how do you play? And I was like, oh yeah, I got it the other day. I'll explain how to play. And really the other games weren't touched. And, I'm not just saying that. It's really that kind of like, that sparked it for sure. It's like, all right, let's pursue this.
I mean,
it's cool. Kind of give yourself like a blind focus group.
Yeah, exactly. And I know, like, once I told my friends after the fact, they'd be honest with me. And if they thought it sucked, they would tell me. And I'd be like, all right, man, like, that's kind of cold, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But, if anything, they just they gave some feedback that I think could enhance the game. And obviously they enjoyed it. So it was awesome.
Yeah, I love the beer pong rules. Like I was reading through them earlier, and it's like on fire, hitting 3 in a row. I'm like, oh man, reminds me of the old college days.
Oh, absolutely. I know. Yeah, we were playing the other day, and this couple that we were just hanging out with on Thompson's Point wanted to play with us, and me and Gabe ended up absolutely destroying them. And I was like, hey, we just got lucky, but it is funny. But it can be quick if you get on fire, then it can be lights out pretty soon.
So the way the covers are designed and stuff, the layout, you can re-rack and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the fun parts of Cover 10. Except what we made it was each team gets 1 re-rack per game, so that way there's not a ton of movement. It's not as easy essentially as beer pong would be. You can use that on either your board or your opponent's board. So you can either make your shot easier, hypothetically, or your opponent's shot harder.
That's an awesome twist.
Yeah, but it sacrifices, your re-rack essentially. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, you kind of point out what re-rack you want, whether it's, Olympic rings, diamond, triangle, whatever. And then they just pop the covers out, to leave those ones open.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it works out.
That's awesome.
So what made you guys decide to go to wood? Because I've seen the plastic cornhole boards and I've seen metal ones. What made you go to the wood?
To be honest, I mean, I think it's quality. We wanted to put out a good product. Wood's a little bit heavier than plastic per se, absolutely. But if you play on a plastic board, a lot of the times the bags are bouncing.
Yeah, it's a springboard. Yeah,
so flimsy.
Yeah, literally. And if it's casual play, like people get over it. But I speak for my friends, and I'm sure you guys are the same. Like if there's any sort of competitive fire in you, if the thing's trampolining off the board, you're like, I'm done with this game.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's definitely a quality kind of aspect.
Mm-hmm.
We are trying to see if there's a way to get a better material that might be, wood and plastic composite kind of combined.
Yeah.
The University of Maine, where I graduated from, they work on that. So we're trying to see if we can potentially pursue that, partner with them. But for now, it's just kind of, we're rolling with wood. It's out great. It looks awesome too. And it plays very clean. So it's great.
Awesome.
Nice. So you were sorry,
yeah,
you go.
I was
just gonna
say,
yeah, you go.
Guys, so you're saying it looks awesome. Do you guys have like plans to like, how are you able to, cause like a normal cornhole board, you can get like buy custom covers and stuff. You guys plan on doing something like that?
Yeah, I think the door is definitely open for that. With our supplier, if you really wanted to, we could throw on like certain decals and logos and wraps essentially on that if we wanted to. I think for now it's probably going to be pretty straightforward, pretty standard. But you can always throw, your custom kind of stickers and whatnot on there, throw poly over it, and she'll be good to go. But that's definitely something to pursue in the future. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely get some Black Bear logos on there. Go Bears.
Sure. Yes. Sir.
So my question here is like, so you're doing advertising. I know you're going down to Thompson's Point, and what other steps have you been taking for advertising? You just kind of doing word of mouth right now? Or are you guys going to start doing ads?
Yeah, so we've definitely been doing some social media ads on Facebook and Instagram, which you can follow at Cover 10 Cornhole for both of those. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of paid ads going on there, which is, they've been working out for sure. And then definitely word of mouth. I mean, the big thing with any sort of game essentially is like, you can watch a video and get kind of excited and pumped up about it. But when you're playing, that's really going to kind of sell you. It's going to like, hey, yeah, I want to invest in one of these, or I want to support, these two guys who kind of made this game, into a reality. So that's why we're trying to do a lot of in-person marketing, go to these events. Like you mentioned, the summer sunset at Thompson's Point, we're just going, setting up the boards, people walk by, they do like 2 or 3 takes and they're like, what the heck is that? We invite them over again, try to kind of be nonchalant, and then eventually be like, yeah, we made it. We have a Kickstarter going. If you would like to support, buy a board, or, get any merch, a hat or a shirt, whatever, feel free to support local. And it's great. You get, again, true, honest feedback. People, really like the idea. So, marketing, it's definitely social media based. Also going on like Reddit, blasting work emails as well, taking advantage of the people that I work with for sure. And really just trying to, get it in front of as many eyes as possible.
Definitely. I'm sure you already have the idea. I don't know if you're doing it yet, dude. Try to get it viral on TikTok, man. Like, I'm serious. Like, it's a perfect thing to like get viral on TikTok. People will be looking at the video being like, what is this? Have Christian do like a sick video for it.
Yeah.
Just something like 30 seconds. I'm telling you, man, it could blow up. Like,
I know. Yeah. I actually, so it was probably a week ago now. It was like 9 at night. And I was like, all right, I'm going to throw something on TikTok. And I just took a condensed version of our Kickstarter promotional video.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was basically just like, this is Cover 10, showing what it is, going through the basic steps. And And the next day I woke up and, by the end of the following day, it had 50,000 views, like 3,000 likes,
That's awesome.
200 shares or something. And I was like, I don't even know how this works, but that's,
that's
so
huge.
that has been big, but I don't know if I'd classify that as viral yet, but that's the goal for sure.
I mean, 50K is more than a lot of people get for views. So definitely, definitely keep putting that out there. So really quick, tell us about the Kickstarter site where people can go to support you. Obviously, I'm just so everybody listening, I'm going to have all of his social links below: Instagram, Facebook, and the Kickstarter website will be right down below in the description. Just talk about the Kickstarter website and how these guys and gals can come and support you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kickstarter is essentially a crowdfunding website. So a lot of people aren't super familiar with that. It's not like GoFundMe where you're essentially donating to a cause, and just like out of the good of your heart, you're pledging money. For Kickstarters, you do get something in return. So if you want to pledge, basically the highest tier, you would be purchasing a set of cover 10 boards. You're going to get that if the campaign is successful and it reaches our funding goal. If that's the case, we'll take down your address, your shipping information, and we'll get those sent out to you, hopefully by late summer, early fall. Or you can simply donate if you would really want to. But if you're spending money, get something back. Absolutely. We have hats, T-shirts that are like lower pledge dollar amounts, which if that's all you can support, we will take that hands down, and we appreciate that, no doubt. But if you want the game itself and to be one of the first people to own it, highly recommend just kind of pulling the trigger. Again, supporting local. Hopefully, for those people, we're in Maine, or at least I am. So that's what I mean by local. And yeah, that's kind of the idea there, is really just. I think we have 10 days left in the campaign. We're a little over 50% pledged for a $17,000 goal. So we're making progress. Time is running out a little bit, so we're pushing extra hard this next week and a half or so. But yeah, any dollar amount helps, but for sure you do get something in return if you select the the right reward that you want, which is also a good piece of it too.
Yeah. Well, you guys got any other questions for him?
Mine's not more of a question. It's more of like, so I played in a dart league when I was up in Maine.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of those guys play cornhole, and they love there's a cornhole league in New Hampshire that I know people in. Have you tried to go to those events and get that crowd? Because that crowd I know would love that stuff.
Yeah. So we haven't been to any of the events. I've joined a handful of the Facebook pages though, just kind of cornhole enthusiasts and whatnot. We got some traction.
Yeah.
Honestly, not as much as I would have thought. But we also don't have a ton of contacts within those pages. So if you have any buddies who, are admin or whoever, definitely let me know. I mean, we'll send them, some promo stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And any sort of advertisement there is huge. I know cornhole's absolutely taken off the last year or so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at first it was on ESPN, just kind of like the Ocho, it was like, oh, but now it's no, people are legit. They don't miss.
Yeah.
So I know that there's probably some people who will appreciate the idea and the new thought. Other people are probably gonna, bash on it a little bit. But hey, any exposure is good exposure. So, so that's something we'll pursue.
I definitely think this is a huge game with college kids and tailgating.
Oh god,
for sure.
Because you're mixing two great games, drinking,
two great pastimes of
college tailgating.
Yeah,
and without wasting all that water.
that's true. Save the environment, folks. Buy cover 10.
Yeah. There it is. There's the sales pitch.
There it is.
Hey, and the other thing is actually, and we didn't even think of this until we were playing it with other people, there's no math involved. So anybody who has a Woodham High education or there's no math involved. All you got to do is cover the hole that they just made it in. You don't have to remember scores. You don't have to cancel out, a cornhole versus a bag on the board. Super easy. As the night progresses, it doesn't get harder. So.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's your selling point right there.
I know.
No math. You just got to cover up the hole.
Exactly. Yeah. Cover 10 cornhole, no math. And it's got a horrible ring to it, but hey, we'll run with it.
That's right. I really think this idea can take off, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, thank you for, I think we're your first interview, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time out to come with us. But now we got a couple of personal questions before we get out. It's what we're going to do with all of our interviews. So what is your favorite personal sports moment of all time that you participated in?
Yeah. So I'd probably say 8th grade football. We went undefeated, won the championship against a really good Thornton Academy football team.
Nice.
Yeah, just a great moment. A lot of those guys on the team are still family. Whether we keep in touch as frequent as we would like, it's just it's a brotherhood no matter what.
Sure.
I just missed kind of the 2009 championship squad that Gledhill kind of led to victory. Yeah.
Jack's rolling over in his figurative grave.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Malice, and Jackson are probably cringing a little bit, but no, hey, you guys were a blast to watch. But yeah, we were basically that fall right before that 09 championship run, middle school kind of championship game. Unfortunately, no high school, rings for me, but
that's really funny because both of the guys that we've interviewed, you and we're having an interview come out when Nick and I are on vacation August 1st, and Axel from UMaine, he played DB up there. Both of you guys said 8th grade football for your memory, which is pretty funny.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's really, really funny. All right, so the second question we got for you is, what is your favorite sports moment of all time as a fan?
Yeah, I'd probably have to say the Malcolm Butler interception against the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
That's a good one.
Yeah, unreal memory. I mean, I remember it clear as day. I was in college at UMaine in my dorm, and we actually had a time lapse going for the entire game. Back when iPhones came out with that, we thought it was the coolest thing. And the 3 frames kind of before, during the interception, after are absolutely timeless. And just insane victory. Shouldn't have happened, but sure as hell did.
But he's had Super Bowls go the other way, so
Hey, exactly. Yeah, the bubblegum helmet catch kind of, was making up.
You never know which way that football is going to bounce, man. It's crazy.
But that was probably one of the best moments for sure. Just because I was with all my college buddies, it was a good time for sure.
Yeah, that's one of those sports moments. You remember exactly where you were. I was actually, at this point, I was living with Morgan and his family. We were all sitting upstairs, and I was just sitting on the couch, and I was like, there's no way he just did that. Because the catch before, Curse had, was another juggling crazy catch.
Yeah.
I know.
Just run the ball. Come on.
I know.
Never understand it.
Just the whole, you see Pete Carroll's body just collapse after he realizes it's picked. It's it's insane. That was a crazy Super Bowl.
That image of Richard Sherman's face.
Oh yeah, the Sherman meme was
that
was priceless.
Oh man.
Oh man. Well, Brad, thank you for taking the time out, man. This will be out tomorrow, July 22nd. Go follow Cover 10. All of his socials are down below, everybody. Once again, Brad, for me and the boys here, thank you so much for coming on. We're glad to be your first interview.
Good to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, good to catch up. Further on down the road, we'll get you on for a debate. I know you're a big sports guy, so we'll get you on. So hopefully go donate to his Kickstarter, get some cool stuff out of it, help a local guy out. That's what we're here for. We're all trying to help each other. I know we'll be, getting a board for ourselves. So help him reach his goal, everybody.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you guys taking the time. Really can't thank you enough. And we'll remember you. First interview, if we'll do something special for you guys. For sure.
Perfect. It's not an if it blows up, it's a when.
It's a when.
Exactly.
Hey, all right. I like that thinking. Thinking.
Perfect, man. We'll let you get out of here, Brad. Take it easy, man.
All right. Take care, guys.
See ya.
See ya.